It's Wednesday, and you know what that means. It means I got a lot to get off my chest. Greg Cherry here, alone again this week, but I feel like this time it's a little more fitting because the topic I'm bringing up today, especially kicking off the show, and if you read the title of the show and you know what I'm getting into, I feel the need to call some people out. So I'm going to get right into it. So Monday night, and actually today too, I saw another one. I saw some clips from content creators that really bothered me. So for those people who watched Monday Night Raw this past Monday, during a triple threat match, Zoe Stark suffered an unfortunate serious knee injury. And obviously, all prayers go out to Zoe Stark. Hope that she can recover. She probably tore something in her knee the way she landed. It was just completely rough. The thing that bothered me was that there were some content creators, and I'm not going to name names because I'm not that kind of a shit stirrer. There were some people who uploaded the video of the injury along with their reaction onto their own channels. Now, some people may say, well, they're content creators. They review stuff. They show reactions to stuff. Why is that a problem? I feel like it's a problem to take somebody's serious injury that they suffered while doing their job and then uploading the video of said injury to your own channel and profiting off of it. I think that's messed up. And I know for a fact that a lot of content creators post a lot of clips during the show. They post maybe about 10, 15, 20 clips, whatever it is, of the show that they're reviewing. You're telling me you couldn't leave one out? You're telling me that you felt the need to show the video of this graphic injury, but attach your name to it and make you seem like, oh, this is just my reaction. If it happens in the live stream, that's one thing. Because live TV is unpredictable. You obviously can't plan for that. So if it's on your live stream, that's one thing. Because again, I'm not saying take down the whole live stream because that's probably a lot of work and you probably get some views off of that. That's one thing. To selectively take the clip of the injury that you know happened, cutting it specifically at that point, and putting it on your own stuff seems kind of gross to me. I have a big problem with that. And like I said, I'm not going to name people because there were several who did it. I saw another one today. I wasn't trying to look for it. I just was scrolling my For You on TikTok. I just happened to see another one. I don't think it's okay that you are making some kind of money, some kind of likes, or you're getting clicks on your videos or whatever the case may be, because you're uploading the video of somebody getting seriously hurt. Talking about it is one thing. Talking about an injury that happened, talking about the unfortunate circumstances of said injury, discussing it is one thing. Uploading the actual video of it and making money off of it is gross. Somebody needs to tell me if I'm wrong or if I'm off base. I don't think I am. Because again, these content creators post 10, 15, 20 videos of the shows that they review and they watch and they react to. I don't feel like that's one that you needed to put up there. You could have gone without uploading the injury, be like, I'm not putting this clip up. It's a serious injury. I don't want to be a part of that. I don't want to, make some money or make more of a name for myself off of somebody who's going to lose months of her career due to this. But it doesn't seem like that crossed anybody's mind. Because a couple of these clips I saw Monday night. So there was no thought put into it. They were just like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna clip this stuff. I'm gonna upload it. Not even a second thought. There wasn't even a hesitation of putting these up. I have a problem with that. Again, I'm just one person with an opinion. I'm not telling how content creators how to do their jobs. I'm not telling them, how they need to post or whatever. I'm just saying a little discretion could have been used. I think it's bothersome that there are people and there are clips. Again, I saw one an hour before this show that somebody has the clip of their reaction with the injury in it. What does that get you? Are you happy to gain viewers that way? Are you happy that you are drawing in more of an audience because it's like, oh yeah, oh no, I'm gonna like act like I care so much about this person, but I don't care enough about them to like say, okay, I'm not gonna upload this clip because like I don't want people to see this. No, like these clips were specifically edited and put up there. So like there was thought put into this. These are not just like random clips that you take. Like you have to search out this footage, put it together, and upload it. It is not like, oh, like I accidentally clipped that part. I accidentally like put these two things together. Like, oh man, I didn't even think about it. No, this was deliberate. And you can't tell me that it's not. Because if you tell me it's not, you're full of shit. I don't think it benefits anybody involved to post a video of somebody's injury and try and make some money off of it. Let me show you something. I put this up here for a reason. I put this up here because, yeah, I ask people to support the show because unlike a lot of these content creators that I'm referencing, I don't have a massive audience. I don't have people just willing to share my stuff. I don't have people just ready and willing to support me at a moment's notice. I do have some people in the audience. I do have people watching. I do have people commenting. Thank you very much, Brian Doyle. He's been a loyal person in the chat. I love him for it. He's great. Absolutely love him for it. But we're talking about content creators that have hundreds, thousands of people commenting on their stuff, sharing their stuff, posting their stuff. Sharing it with other people, and like, and here's the question: would you prefer if they didn't show the footage or not upload it at all? Not upload it at all. Like you're watching a 2.5 hour show. If you have 10, 15 clips of that show, upload those. That's fine. Don't use the one with the injury. And if people are like, if you put in the first part of the match and the last part of the match, and you're wondering, where'd Zoe Stark go? Like, you can explain it, but you don't have to show the footage of the injury and make money off that. And like just posting the reaction of the injury is really not that great either because it's kind of in the same vein. Like, just post the clips of stuff. Some of your other stuff might not get traction. I feel like that's a hit you have to take. But I just think putting a video of an injury on your channel and making money off of it is disgusting. Again, I'm not these content creators. Again, this probably won't make a hill of beans a difference to anybody else. This is something that bothers me. It's part of the reaction. Part of the reason I don't do reaction content very often. I'll do it for the Rumble. Like you saw, I posted videos for the Rumble, my reactions to entrants coming out. And that was about it. I don't do full show reactions. I don't do the reactions that a lot of people do in the content creation world. I don't do that. And this kind of stuff, not having the discretion to avoid the injury video altogether, I don't know. If this gets back to them, it gets back to them. They'll probably be like, "Oh, well, he doesn't know anything. Oh, well, he's not a content creator, so he doesn't know what we have to go through." Blah 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 blah. I don't give a shit what you have to go through. Be a decent person. This has nothing to do with the actual content creation. Be a decent human being and care about somebody rather than your own views. Why is that? Why is that hard? Honestly, why is that so hard? See this right here? I've gone months without anybody donating to this. That's fine. I don't care. The reason I started the show wasn't for the money, obviously. The reason I started the show wasn't for fame. The reason that I started the show was to have a voice that be heard by people. For those who don't know me in real life, I am a very quiet, reserved, introverted person. I don't know if I've brought that up on the show, but that is my personality. 99% of the time. If you see me in person, I am quiet, I am reserved, I am to myself most of the time. This right here is one of the few times where I feel like I can be an open individual and present my opinions. And this has been weighing on me for 2 days. I kind of him-hawed around it for a little bit. I was like, you know what? I'm going to stand on this. If nobody else does, if nobody else even hears about it, that is what it is. I don't expect this to go viral. I don't expect any of those content creators to even notice I'm alive. That's not the point. The point is, I have an opinion about this, and you're going to hear it because that's what this show is. This show is my opinion. This show is a space for me to provide my opinion on this. Is it going to affect their bottom line? These content creators, again, they probably don't care. They probably don't care. It's like, well, what does he know? He doesn't know anything about content creation. Fine, whatever. Still doesn't mean you're not kind of shitty for doing it. I don't have to be a major content creator to have an opinion on something that you do. Again, if this doesn't reach them, fine. If it does reach them, even better. Let them tear me down. I don't care. You think I'm losing out by not being mentioned by these content creators? I could care less. I'm just here to give you my thoughts on the situation. Again, the important thing is prayers up to Zoe Stark, hoping that she heals from the injury. I'm not showing pictures of the injury. I'm not showing videos of the injury because I'm not going to make money off of it. Unless I'm going to pay her medical bills, I'm not going to make money off of it. You know damn well none of them are going to donate to the medical bills. So that's my rate. That's the people I'm calling out. I don't expect anything from them. I don't expect zero reaction from the people who this affects. And again, not naming names because I'm not that person. If it applies to you and you're watching this, think about it. Really think about it. Just my opinion. So yeah, the Money in the Bank qualifiers have been happening. Rhea Ripley's qualified for Money in the Bank. Solo Sikoa has qualified for Money in the Bank, and it's the unfortunate thing about Zoe Stark is she's actually been like a pretty pivotal player in the Money in the Bank matches the last couple of years, but she obviously won't be a part of this one. Unless like her injury isn't as severe as we found out, but I'm pretty sure. I'm actually going to read the Newsweek article about it, and yeah, she's getting surgery on it, so she's going to be out for a while. we can talk about maybe a Rumble appearance, but it's probably going to be until after WrestleMania. So hopefully, again, hopefully she heals up well because she's a great talent. She's a very underappreciated talent. I really hope that she's able to bounce back from it. But as far as the Money in the Bank qualifiers go, like I mentioned, Rhea Ripley's in Money in the Bank. She doesn't need to win it. Alexa Bliss is in, Roxanne Perez is in, and Solo Sikoa is in. For the speakers. Bliss is in, Roxanne Perez is in, Rhea Ripley's in. For the women, 3 more spots to be determined. And Solo Sikoa is the only male so far in the match, which is very strange. But I don't think Solo is winning Money in the Bank. I'm not sure about the 3 women entered currently. I would like to see Chelsea Green in it if they do like a last chance type thing. Aleister Black, LA Knight, and Shinsuke Nakamura have a qualifying match coming up on SmackDown as Charlotte Flair, Julia, and Zelina Vega are in a triple threat to qualify for Money in the Bank. If I had to guess, either Charlotte Flair or Julia is going to win. Zelina Vega, as Women's United States Champion, probably won't make it in. It doesn't seem like they like to have, at least in this regime, secondary characters or secondary champions, not characters, that's terrible, secondary champions involved in Money in the Bank matches. I mean, think about it. Theory lost the U.S. title before he entered the Money in the Bank and ended up winning it. But before we continue with this, Brian Doyle, very much appreciated for the donation. Let me pull up what that says. Spin, baby, spin. Well, yeah, I think we need a little pick-me-up here. So let me pull up that wheel. And we'll get a little fun in this show. Because again, while I can present opinions, while I can be serious at times, I like to have fun also. So we are going to spin this wheel. Let me switch the camera right here. Whoops. We'll switch the camera so that you can see. What I'm talking about right here. So let's get a wheel spin, see what's going to happen here. And we are going to get 20 squats or 50 jumping jacks. It's one of the workout ones. 20 squats. Okay, so that's not terrible. I'm perfectly fine with that. We'll switch the camera back. There we go. So yeah, 20 squats. You guys can enjoy it as well. I'm going to be doing that right now as soon as I pull up the music. So yeah, Matty Laws should be back on the show next week. He got called into work last minute. And Jeff should be a part of the show next week as well, I believe. So we should have the full gamut, all of us here for next week's show, which will be great because I feel like I need to bring this up with them as well. I feel like it's very important, a very important topic to talk about. So we'll bring that up to them at some point. I brought it up in our group chat, but I feel like talking about it with them on air is the way to go. So 20 squats, Brian Doyle. This is for you. And this is the beauty. I have to say, this is the beauty of the Greg Cherry Show, is that we can have a serious topic like that discussed, and we can also be goofy in the same space. I feel like this is one of the best variety type shows out there. So If you support it, tell a friend, tell people you know, because while we talk about serious stuff, we like to have fun here. And that's what we're going to do right now. We're going to have some fun. My knees are going to kill me, but that is what it is, right? 20 squats. You got to love it. Thank you, Ryan Doyle, for the donation. Appreciate it. But now we can get back to talking about what we were talking about. Yeah, I know Solo's not going to win Money in the Bank. I guess I don't know really that he's not winning Money in the Bank. And yeah, Brian, Chelsea did do that crazy bump last year. Zoe Stark also had like that Michinoku driver from Io Sky. I think that was last year's match. That was pretty insane too. This is why it's good to have a co-host, because when you're out of breath, it makes it a little hard to talk. So obviously, like Saturday night's main event, Jey Uso is defending the World Heavyweight Championship against Logan Paul. But that means they're probably going to. They might not have a world title match at Money in the Bank, because obviously, I don't think Cena's going to be a part of that. And Jey Uso probably is not going to defend the World Heavyweight Championship 2 weeks later in like a short feud. If anything, like that'll be just a filler feud. I just can't imagine that. But I mean, what else are they going to do to fill the space? Because again, that's the same weekend as Worlds Collide, same day, I believe. Yeah, so they're going to have the Worlds Collide show and Money in the Bank at the same day. That's a lot of WWE produced wrestling in one day. It really is. I'm not complaining. Don't get me wrong. I'm not complaining whatsoever. I just feel like it's definitely a lot to. It's a lot to handle in one day, and you probably don't want to overexert everybody. I'm sure with a Worlds Collide show, you want to feature as many people as you possibly can on that show. Money in the Bank is a little bit harder because obviously you have the 2 ladder matches. You might have like 3 or 4 more matches on that card, but you're not going to go all out other than the ladder matches. You're not going to have a solid. I would honestly probably put, if you're going to do anything special for Money in the Bank, I'd probably put a stipulation match in with Lyra Valkyria and Becky Lynch. I feel like that makes the most sense to have your Women's Intercontinental Championship in a featured spot on a pay-per-view card. Messed up. Same thing with the Women's United States Championship match. I feel like maybe do Zelina Vega versus Alba Fire. You could fill out the card that way. Throw in a tag team championship match. Throw the New Day against somebody. I don't know. But there's a lot of options you can have. Because again, I don't feel like Jey Uso is going to be defending the world title. Cena, I don't feel like is even going to be on the show. So yeah, I feel like both of those are possibilities that they may not happen. And that's probably why the World Heavyweight Championship is being defended on Saturday night's main event. So that it doesn't have to have a match at Money in the Bank because he just defended it. This is purely speculation. I don't know. They might do like a 6-man tag, like with Sami Zayn, CM Punk, Jey Uso against Seth, Braun Breaker, and somebody else. Who that'll be remains to be seen. I kind of hope they do like a last chance, maybe not a last chance battle royal for the spots because you don't want to do like a men's battle royal and a women's battle royal in the same week. I wouldn't complain because I love battle royals. I love chaotic matches like that. But I feel like you need to do like a last chance type of match because Chelsea Green is somebody who I think would benefit from being Miss Money in the Bank. So I would absolutely would not complain if you held on to Money in the Bank for a long time, like Carmella length run with a briefcase. I'd like to see Roxanne Perez win it. She hasn't had a ton of success on the main roster yet. Obviously, she's in the ladder match, but that doesn't mean she's going to win. Alexa's already won a Money in the Bank. Rhea doesn't need it. Because again, she's already been champion multiple times. And what will she do? Will she just go after Io? Like that's it doesn't intrigue me for Rhea Ripley to hold the briefcase. So again, we'll see who the final 3 participants are. I would not want to see Charlotte Flair with a briefcase. I hope they do something with the storyline with Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair. I really hope that they do something with it, that maybe Charlotte leans into her darker side a little bit. Or that Charlotte like shows some weakness. I feel like that's been my biggest hiccup. I've mentioned it on the show before. It's my biggest hiccup with the Charlotte Flair character. And I hope that they allow her to expand beyond that, beyond the Ric Flair cosplay. It just and again bothers me a lot that they don't lean in to, or they just try and distance themselves from the like, hey, she's Ric Flair's daughter. That's all she's been character-wise for the last decade plus. Like, I feel it drives me nuts because I feel like she was so boxed in that she hasn't got the chance to expand. Like, if anybody needs serious character work, it's Charlotte Flair. Because she obviously has the ability to do it. But I'm almost wondering at this point, is it too late to develop Charlotte Flair's character? And is she just stuck doing this? Is she just stuck being Ric Flair's daughter with the robe, with the pyro, with the spin in the entrance, with the figure 4 of the finisher? Is she just stuck with that? Or is this storyline with Alexa Bliss her ticket to actually gaining more of a serious character? I would love to see an edge to Charlotte Flair. I would absolutely love that. And I feel like having that edge would just be incredibly beneficial to everybody involved. If Alexa and Charlotte end up being like a team at some point and go after the women's tag team titles as like kind of like a sadistic team, there could be some legs there. You've got to expand beyond what she's already done. You have to. Again, I feel like that could be very beneficial. And it's good to see Alexa Bliss back on TV. Like, let's be honest. Like, her coming back at the Rumble, being in the chamber, then being off TV for a month and a half made no sense. Like, why throw her in the chamber if you're just gonna have her lose? I I don't know. I feel like that since we're past WrestleMania, more people are getting an opportunity to be on the show because again, not everybody can be on WrestleMania, which drives me nuts because I wish the Battle Royals were on WrestleMania. Why don't they do a women's Battle Royal anymore? Honestly, do a China Memorial Battle Royal, make a trophy, and then just go from there. You did two women's Battle Royals before. Why don't you do one now? Really and honestly. Like, I get not doing one during 2020 with the pandemic because you didn't want that many people in a ring at the same time. Fine, whatever. But it's 2025. We're 5 years past that. You haven't done a women's battle royal, at least as far as the WrestleMania women's battle royal. You haven't done one in 6 years. Next year will be 7. Why don't you do one? Why don't it drives me crazy to think that they are I'm hoping I saw a report. I don't know if it's a report, but I saw somebody post a picture. I don't know the validity of it. That somebody at TKO said that women don't draw, so that like that's why women's wrestling isn't important anymore. I feel like they don't watch WWE because women's wrestling is the best it's ever been in the last 10 years. It is better than it ever was before 2015. Yeah, you had some people that like were talented, but women's wrestling wasn't taken as seriously then as it is now. Women's wrestling, a lot of times, can be better than the men's wrestling, and I feel like they should all be given their due. Yeah, I don't know if they've necessarily confirmed that they're doing. They keep saying that they're doing Evolution, like the second Evolution, in July. Like I think the same weekend or the same day even as the All In pay per view for AEW. I wish they would confirm it. I wish they would build a card because people like Alexa Bliss didn't get to compete in the first Evolution because she suffered an injury and she was out of the ring for a few months. So I'm sure she would love the opportunity to compete the next Evolution pay per view. It sucks that we don't get a lot of people that were at the first one. Maybe they do a battle royal at that one for a future title shot. I thought that was cool. You could have people from AAA, you can have people from TNA, NXT, Raw, SmackDown, free agents, whatever you want to do. Legends, like throw them in a battle royal. I would love to see a second Evolution. And honestly, that's probably the show I'd check out. I think I would have more fun watching Evolution than I would All In. And be like, oh, you're just a WWE fanboy. It's like, what? I respect the crap of what women's wrestling is doing, and that's a show full of it. So, would I check out All In later? Sure. Like, I would love to be able to check out all the stuff, but unfortunately, I I can't make a living off of it. If I could make a living off of watching wrestling and talking about wrestling, I would absolutely do it in a heartbeat. Like I would have started yesterday. I would have started last year, 5 years ago. But unfortunately, knowing a lot about wrestling and being a trivia expert doesn't exactly translate to being able to talk about it and being able to present it. It's a strange thing how that works. But yeah, I hope they do a second evolution when they officially announce it on TV. That's when I'll be like, okay, they finally made it happen. They're going to do it again. I hope they make it an annual thing. I really do. or like even if they don't call it Evolution again, they could give it another name, but just do like an all women's pay per view every single year. Build solid feuds around there for the women's title, for both women's titles, both women's mid card titles, the NXT women's title, women's North American title. Like you have so much at your disposal now as far as champions, as far as talent goes, that you could build a solid 8 to 10 match card of just women's wrestling and let Shawn Michaels book all of it. You would be set, bud. If they let Shawn book that entire thing, Evolution may again be like a pay-per-view or PLE of the year. 2018's Evolution probably was the best show that year, honestly. Brian Doyle says, I fear for European indie wrestling with NXT Europe apparently looming. Was that the same thing for NXT UK? Like they figured that NXT UK was just going to steal all the European talent and just wipe out the European indies. I wonder how much of that is going to be the case. I just can't imagine that NXT Europe is going to like I'm sure they're going to take the top talent. They might take like some lower card guys or whatever just to fill out some spots, but you never know. Like it gives them an opportunity to grow. If they don't want to put them in NXT yet, it gives them an opportunity to grow. Like, do you do an NXT European Championship? I mean, if you're going to build an entire brand over there and have the shows air live, like in the afternoon, NXT UK decimated the UK indie scene and set its growth back substantially. That's understandable. I mean, if you're taking the top British superstars, if you're taking the top European superstars, then absolutely. Yeah, it's going to be hard to bring back the draw of. But realistically, like think about, and this isn't to defend WWE necessarily, but think about when AEW came into the business. How many top indie talents they signed? Like to fill out their entire roster. They didn't go with a ton of ex-WWE guys initially. Like, yeah, Jericho was there, obviously, but like you didn't know Mox was there till the first show. Like you signed MJF, you signed Hangman Page, the Bucks, Omega, Britt Baker, a whole host of people, Orange Cassidy. You signed a whole host of people to be a part of that first AEW show, Double or Nothing. And you know, it worked for them. And like the indie scene, the thing is with the indie scene, yeah, if you're losing your top people, guess what? You're gonna have new top people. It's very cyclical, I guess. And yeah, I understand that AEW has more freedom with their talent working elsewhere than WWE. But WWE has actually sent their talent to GCW, NWA, like recently. Like Natalia's done some cool stuff recently on lower profile shows. Like obviously GCW is a big deal, and NWA is still kicking around there, but that they're not at the level of a WWE and AEW, stuff like that. New Japan, they're still considered like independent stuff. So I guess we'll see. And if it allows for somebody from the European indie scene to become a major star in NXT Europe, that they eventually come over, become a star in NXT, become a star in Raw or SmackDown, like, then so much the better. Like, let's give them the opportunity to do that. And I'm sure a lot of the guys that are being looked at and possibly being talked about signing with WWE as part of the NXT Europe, they're not going to pass up the opportunity unless it's a money thing. I don't know how much they'd be offered because I don't work in that department. But yeah, like if I was offered a contract for WWE, I'd at least give it a once over, but yeah, I'd probably sign it. Same thing for AEW. If they offered me a contract, I would probably sign it. Yeah. If you have an opportunity, and sometimes the exposure means more initially than the paycheck. Sometimes just having that ability to be in front of people that you otherwise never would have been in front of, that can mean a lot to your career. And it's something that you can keep on your resume forever. So it can get you more money down the line. It can like help you build your character. It can help you develop more skills. Absolutely. Like if because not everybody can be WWE champion, world heavyweight champion, women's world champion, WWE women's champion, whatever the case may be. Not everybody can be the top person. Not everybody can be AEW champion or AEW women's world champion. There are places in wrestling for a lot of people. Some of them are at the top of the business. Some of them are just in the middle of the business, and maybe that's their ceiling. And some of them might not make it long term in the business, but they still have that experience. They still have, and then maybe the independent wrestling scene becomes their home and becomes the way that they make a living. I mean, look at Matt Cardona for crying out loud. He completely reinvented himself after his WWE release and became one of the top stars on the independent circuit. And yeah, he has a ton of WWE experience behind him. I mean, he was in WWE for over a decade. That's a crazy amount of time to take that and really pass that along to the people that he works the indies with. And yes, he's been on TNA, and he's what, the number one contender to, I was going to say, the Digital Media Championship. Is that what it's so called? I haven't been paying a ton of attention to TNA lately, but or no, they renamed that because Santino renamed it. But I think it was like the TNA International Championship. What is it? It's going to drive me nuts now. But Cardona is the number one contender to a title in TNA. But it's not the world title. TNA, I believe it's the TNA International Championship. Yeah, TNA International Championship because he's facing Steve Macklin. Yeah. Okay. I kind of knew what I was talking about there. But again, I feel like if you can take your experience that you work for WWE or you work for AEW and you can translate that into making more money for yourself if you don't end up working for either one, so much the better. Take what you learned from where you learn it from, apply it to what you're doing now. This is more than just the wrestling business, too. It's in whatever you do. No matter where you are, you can take your experiences, you can learn more stuff, no matter what stage of life you're in, and you can apply it to what you're doing now. You can be like, oh, I remember learning this thing at this place, and this applies here, so I can probably take that and make that fix here. Maybe it's a little different, but like a similar solution can work here, or a similar way of thinking, or a similar way of doing things, and apply that here, and maybe it makes this better. Like, I don't feel like professional wrestling should not be a business where it's like families holding on to recipes and not allowing them to be, no, like, this is our recipe. This is important to us. Like, we're not going to give away this information. That's stupid, by the way. That is completely stupid. I just think it benefits everybody involved. Like, you're not holding like federal level clearance, like top secret information. But like, you're talking about recipe, you're talking about like pro wrestling and like learning and becoming better. Like, you're talking about all these things. It's like the more you help each other, the better everybody can be. Just learn to help people. Brian Dole's asking, what do you think of Sabu's last match and everything surrounding it? That's another thing that's controversial in wrestling right now because Joey Janela was saying that Sabu was. What did he say he was on during that last match? Kratom? Is that what it is? I don't even know what that is. Um, Thing it can reduce pain and stuff like that. But it's kind of like it says it's an opiate and has stimulant-like effects, but yeah, it was also banned in some states. I don't know where did GCW run that show? Uh, Regardless, it feels very similar to what um, Mick Foley said he was going to do. Like he said he was going to lose weight and do like one final death match. Yes. I don't feel like Sabu going through with that match was the best idea, especially since they had to give him the kratom or kratom or whatever the hell it's called. Um, but like Janela defending the, I don't know. Joey Janela has always kind of given me like a little bit of discomfort as far as the stuff that he does. Like, obviously, he does like the deathmatch stuff. Like, he had that one with Moxley in AEW. He also like did the stuff with frickin' what's his name, Superhuman. He did all that stuff. Yeah, I'm not great. I'm just reading news articles. I I'm going off of what they're telling me. I don't exactly know what it is, but it essentially seemed to me like it was some kind of stimulant and painkiller to make sure that he could even go. But the way it's the way some of these news articles talked is like he shouldn't have even been in the ring to begin with. Like he himself up quite a bit, and I don't know if that had anything to do with him passing. I don't know if drug had anything to do with him passing. I'm not a doctor and can't speculate on any of that. And again, I don't know if that expedited his death. I don't want to blame that on his death because, again, it could have been any number of things. It could have been something random that happened that had nothing to do with the match. I don't know. But Joey Janela is catching a lot of shit for that because of the timing of the match, because of him talking about the drug and Sabu passing away. Like, I feel like he talked about it after Sabu passed. So it's fascinating. And football fans, I just saw an ESPN notification that Indianapolis Colts owner Jim Irsay just passed away. So thoughts go out there to the Irsay family and the legions of Colts fans out there, because that's a rough thing. you even if you don't know the person personally, it's still a rough thing to see, like a team that you grew up with, a team that you follow your entire life, see the leader of that team pass away. Like it happens with every team, but it's still a sad thing when it does. So prayers out to the Ursay family. And yeah, we lost Norm from Cheers this week. We lost George Wendt. That happened either yesterday or the day before, but yeah, it's very sad. Um, my wife and I will probably have to go back and watch Cheers. We started it a couple years ago. We went backwards though. We watched Frasier first and then tried to watch Cheers. We should have done it the other way around because I felt like there would have been a little more continuity that way because Frasier was spun off of Cheers. But yeah, Norm's character was definitely a classic one. That whole cast for Cheers was definitely a classic cast. Hopefully one day we'll be able to get through the show, but yeah. So it's a rough week for people in the entertainment, the sports world. So hopefully next week will be a better week. We can only hope. Um, so rest in peace to George Wendt. Prayers out to his family as well that they're dealing with the loss of him. And I wish I had a better note to go out on the show with, but it's been a very heavy show, a very serious topic show today. Aside from the goofy little squats in the middle of it, but that's kind of what you expect from the show is just complete chaos one way or the other. Next week, hopefully, I will have somebody back in studio along with yours truly, because I'm sure you guys miss Maddie. I'm sure you miss Jeff. We'll see if one or both of them will be back next week. But again, like I did last week, I'm going to end the show just a couple minutes early. Thank you very much for watching. If you could, if you want to share this, especially the first part of the show, with a content creator who, for whatever reason, thought it was in their best interest to upload a video of an injury and make some money off of that, please share it with them as well. Or at least give opinions of it as well. Because again, I am only as good as the people who watch my stuff. If they don't watch my stuff, if they don't see the clip of me talking about it, then I'm just shouting into a void. It's like posting on Twitter. But thank you very much for watching. We'll be back next week with another show. And until next week, don't be a jag. We'll see you next time on The Greg Cherry Show. Have a good night.